Hi everybody, it's Claire with another art journal video. Today I'm working in my craft journal again. As you all know, this is one of my favourite journals at the minute, and I'm going to be starting off using a stencil from Scrap FX. It's called Leaf Stencil, surprisingly. So I'm wanting to make a cutout page, and I thought first of all I would draw into the stencil and draw around it, and then I decided that that was far too much like hard work. So cracked out the black paint and just sponged through the stencil just around the edges, just so that I could get the idea of the shape onto the page. So what I'm going to be doing is actually cutting this leaf out so that you can see the page behind it through the leaf. So you can see I'm just stenciling through all of it, and there we go, we've got the pattern on the page ready. So I use this craft knife and it is very, very sharp, and I do take my time, although this is really quite sped up. So obviously I don't cut this fast. It would be like superhuman effort, I think. And basically it is just a case of taking your time. And then I just left a little bit on the edge of the page, you can see, just so that it would open and close more easily. And then I'm just doing one cut at a time and turning the page and just moving it around so that it's easier to cut. And the more time you take, the easier it is. There's no rush, it's not a race. And this is quite therapeutic once you get going. So I often have a film on or something, or some music, or listen to a book, an audio book, while I'm doing these pages. And that's why sometimes you'll notice that I do pause in between. There I just accidentally cut through the edge, so I just cut a tiny piece off, and I'm just going to kind of patch it up and stick that over the top. So even when you do make a mistake, you can fix it, it's not a problem. So basically cut all out most of that first side, left a couple of areas where I didn't cut it out, and then kind of did the same on the second side as well. Just making it up as I go along, wasn't really bothered about it matching. Sometimes I get a bit overzealous and actually end up snapping the blade because I'm pressing on so hard. That's the only thing about this craft paper, it is quite thick, so you do need a sharp knife if you're going to cut and do a cutout page in the journal. But it is one of the best journals I've come across for doing cutouts in, because the paper, once you've cut it out, it doesn't kind of collapse on itself. So then I'm just using the white gel pen and I'm outlining some of the black areas that are left. And adding some little dots onto those. This is just a white gel pen, it's a Signo Uniball. And then I'm adding some black onto the back of that leaf. And this is just black gesso. I like that because it does dry very matte. And there isn't any shine to it at all. And then I'm just going around and just outlining the leaf using the white gel pen. It is quite a cool look, isn't it? It's quite effective. And then the areas that I'm not sure about, I'm just kind of making those a bit up as I go along, filling in the empty gaps. And then just adding some more mark making into some of those spaces that I didn't cut out. . And then I'm using sand and just adding some paint onto that background. And this is Carnation. These are Dina Wakley media paints. And this one is Blushing. I find with this one, because I don't use it very often, it's not a colour I'm naturally drawn to, it kind of settles a bit, it separates out the colours, so you have to give it a really good shake. And then I think I'm just going in with a bit of apricot and using this frond stencil it's from the Mask set by Dina Wakley. I'm just adding a little bit more interest onto that background. It's so pretty. I love the way those colours have worked together, and it's so funny, I wouldn't normally choose them. But they do work really well. And then I'm just using the Stabilo oil and I'm just drawing on a botanical doodle and just getting out some sky paint, and I'm just filling in the leaves with that. Obviously it is activating the paint. You notice I'm flipping back to look at another page. It was one that was inspired by a studio session that Dina Wakley did. This isn't quite the same, but it's a similar idea. And I love how the paint is activating the pencil. Obviously it is a water activated pencil, but of course because the paint is wet it does activate it, and I love how it gives a kind of shadow to the drawing. Then I'm just going in with a bit of turquoise and just adding a sort of more of a highlight, and then some white paint. I'm just using my fingers to get that paint onto the page. And then while the paint's still wet, I'm just drawing around again, going over the outline of the leaves. And then just adding a bit of dotty mark making onto the page. These are from Tim Holtz, these little pictures, and they come in quite a big set. You get loads for your money, so they're definitely worth every penny. This is some sticker paper that I stenciled onto, and it's a really great way to make some quick collage fodder. It's something that I've done for a long time. Often take it away with me on holiday because you don't actually need any glue with you. You can just stick it in straight into your book. So then I'm just adding a few more doodles onto the page and using the Stabilo oil pencil, and again just water activating that. I'm trying to balance the page by sticking one at the top as well as one at the bottom. And then some more mark making using a Signo Uniball in white. Just some dashes. And then I was just looking for some found text, so I found an old book page and I just looked for some words that would kind of work with my page, ones that appealed to me, and stuck those down. So there's the finished page, the cutout leaf, and you can just peep through to see the page behind, and then lots of fun techniques on the page behind too. So have a go at making a cutout like this. It isn't as difficult as you think. Just take your time and I'm sure you'll surprise yourselves. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.